Hey everyone, today we're diving into the story of the most controversial and terrifying superhero from The Boys. Get ready for a journey through time, power, and corruption as we unravel the enigma that is Soldier Boy. Who is Soldier Boy? A hero? A monster? Or something even more disturbing? Today we're going to uncover the truth behind the legend. In the brutal and satirically dark universe of The Boys, few characters capture the essence of the corruption of power as perfectly as Soldier Boy. At first glance, he might seem like just another patriotic superhero, but a deeper look reveals a disturbing history of violence, abuse, and an unrelenting quest for power. Born in 1919, Soldier Boy emerged during a time when the world was still recovering from the horrors of World War I. His real name and background remain a mystery, part of the mythical aura that Vought International built around him. However, it was during World War II that Vought saw in him the perfect opportunity to create their first successful superhero. While the Nazis dominated Europe and the world was in flames, Vought introduced the public to an all-powerful hero dressed in the colors of the American flag. The resemblance to Marvel's Captain America is no coincidence, but unlike the noble Steve Rogers, Soldier Boy hid a much darker nature behind his propaganda smile. Vought capitalized on the era's patriotism and fear to turn Soldier Boy into a symbol of American hope and power. Advertisements, movies, and comic books portrayed him as the savior of democracy, bravely fighting against the Axis forces. The reality, as always, was much more complex and darker. During the war and in the years that followed, Soldier Boy led the team Payback, which was marketed to the public as a group of patriotic heroes. In reality, they were more like a superpowered death squad, leaving a trail of destruction wherever they went. Soldier Boy's heroic feats often resulted in massacres not only of enemies but also of innocent civilians. A particularly notorious incident occurred during the Vietnam War, where Soldier Boy and his team supposedly liberated a village but actually massacred all the inhabitants, including women and children. Vought, skilled in media manipulation, could turn even the most heinous acts into positive propaganda, feeding the myth of the perfect American hero. Payback, under Soldier Boy's command, participated in numerous secret operations during the Cold War. Many of these missions involved eliminating political leaders, activists, and anyone considered a threat to American and Vaught's interests. While the public saw Soldier Boy as a guardian of freedom, he was actually an instrument of oppression and control. The true horror of Soldier Boy wasn't confined to the battlefield. Within his own team, he ruled with an iron fist and a volatile temper. The most notorious case is that of Black Noir, the enigmatic ninja who rarely removes his mask. Few know that behind this silence lies a story of brutal abuse. Soldier Boy disfigured Black Noir so severely that he was forced to wear the mask permanently. This wasn't an isolated case. Every member of Payback lived in constant fear of their leader. Crimson Countess, one of the few who dared to challenge Soldier Boy, suffered physical and emotional abuse for years. Mindstorm, with his psychic powers, was often forced to use his abilities to torture enemies and allies alike under Soldier Boy's orders. TNT, the explosive twins, were constantly humiliated and used as cannon fodder in dangerous missions. Even Gunpowder, who initially idolized Soldier Boy, eventually became just another victim of the leader's abuses. Soldier Boy wasn't a mentor or an example to follow. He was a superpowered tyrant who used his position to abuse and control those around him. His leadership was based on fear and intimidation, not respect or genuine admiration. What made Soldier Boy so feared wasn't just his violent personality, but also his impressive set of superpowers. 1. Superhuman strength, capable of destroying tanks with his bare hands and throwing vehicles as if they were toys. His strength was such that he could easily overpower most other superhumans in hand-to-hand combat. 2. Invulnerability, practically immune to physical damage, making him nearly indestructible in combat. Bullets would ricochet off his skin, an AK-47 was fired into his mouth and it did nothing to him. Explosions barely scratched him, and he could survive falls from great heights without a scratch. 3. Longevity, retarded aging, allowing him to maintain his strength and appearance for decades. This not only made him a lasting symbol for Vought, but it also meant that he accumulated experience and power over the years, becoming increasingly dangerous. 4. Energy blasts. Perhaps his most feared ability, capable of generating devastating explosions that not only destroyed everything in their path, but also could strip other superhumans of their powers. This ability in particular made him a unique threat even among the supes, as he could effectively turn off his opponent's powers. 5. Enhanced combat skills. Years of military training and combat experience made Soldier Boy an extremely skilled fighter, able to combine his superhuman abilities with advanced fighting techniques. 6. Enhanced resilience. Besides his invulnerability, Soldier Boy demonstrated an almost superhuman resistance to toxins and drugs, making him virtually immune to attempts at sedation or poisoning. These abilities, combined with his lack of morality and volatile temper, made Soldier Boy a constant threat not only to his enemies but to anyone around him. His mere presence was enough to cause panic among other supes troops and civilians alike. Like many tyrants throughout history, Soldier Boy's reign of terror eventually came to an end. Ironically, it was his own team, Payback, that orchestrated his downfall. Tired of living in constant fear and abuse, the members of Payback made a secret deal with the Russians. During a mission in Nicaragua in 1984, supposedly to combat communist forces, Soldier Boy was betrayed by his own team. The ambush was carefully planned, with each member of Payback playing a crucial role. Mindstorm used his psychic powers to disorient Soldier Boy. The TNT twins created an explosive distraction. Crimson Countess and Black Noir confronted Soldier Boy directly, taking advantage of his momentary confusion. Gunpowder, though reluctant, provided cover from a distance. Even with all the planning, the battle was intense and costly. Several members of Payback were injured in the process, but they eventually managed to subdue Soldier Boy enough for him to be captured by the Soviets. For decades, he was kept in cryogenic sleep in a secret facility in Russia, becoming nothing more than an urban legend in the world of superheroes. Vought, to maintain its image, created a narrative that Soldier Boy had died heroically in battle, further solidifying his status as an American martyr. Even in his absence, Soldier Boy's impact on the world continued. Vought, always seeking to create the perfect superhero, used Soldier Boy's genetic material to create something even more powerful and, inadvertently, more dangerous. Homelander. Homelander can be seen as an enhanced version of Soldier Boy. More powerful, more charismatic, but equally, if not more, psychopathic. While Soldier Boy was a product of his time, reflecting the militarism and blind patriotism of the post-war period, Homelander is a reflection of the modern era of media and celebrity. The encounter between these two titans in The Boys is one of the series' most tense and revealing moments, showcasing two generations of superhuman terror facing off. It's a clash of egos, power, and ideologies, with Soldier Boy representing a brutal past that refuses to die and Homelander embodying a present that is no less terrifying but masked by a facade of perfection and public love. Soldier Boy isn't just a character in a superhero story. He represents a biting critique of the American dream and the idea of the perfect hero. Through him, The Boys explores themes such as the inherent corruption of absolute power, the manipulation of media and public opinion, the dark side of blind patriotism, the dehumanization that occurs in times of war, the cult of personality and its dangers, how societies create and perpetuate myths about their heroes, the lasting impact of trauma and abuse. He forces us to question, what does it really mean to be a hero? Who watches the watchers? And how far are we willing to tolerate evil in the name of the greater good? Conclusion. The next time you see a superhero, it might be worth thinking twice before celebrating. After all, he could be the next Soldier Boy. Leave your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content about the insane universe of The Boys.